Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for Westworld, Season 1, Episode 6, The Adversary. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Dom, Nikki, and John.
For the first time and the only time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. John, your face. I swear to God.
I had to brighten the mood.
You had to brighten the mood. So...
It was a glitch. We had to repair it. It's fine.
Yep.
Reprogram the podcast.
Technical glitch.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't watching us live, then disregard this. Otherwise, welcome back, guys. So, episode 6. Maeve and Lutz the Putz, as we're affectionately calling him at this point, are having a conversation. And Lutz the Putz is, like, revealing to her the nature of the world.
I don't think he has a choice at this point. I think Maeve is ready to just go bonkers if somebody doesn't give her some answers. So.
Well, we learn all her emotion levels and everything, and she has everything heightened pretty much to max capacity that's going to be the person to be curious enough to do harm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we find out, later that someone's been mucking about and has made her extremely paranoid.
And what she didn't have, she's now changed to become this way.
Right.
Yep.
The pain has been lowered.
Yeah, we also found out that on a scale of 1 to 20, her intelligence is set at 14, which is the highest setting they'll actually give to a host.
It was set to 14.
It was set to 14. So, that setting, whatever it's called, we're going to put that to maximum.
Yeah, so I wonder what that's going to do, though, Like,
She's
because she
be
just,
more intelligent than Einstein.
I mean, she just looked like she woke up again when she cranked it up.
Well, it looked like she was kind of, like, standing there, and she was just like, oh, yeah, like... Okay, we got work to do.
Well, how much did they say that we use our brain? Only how much percent?
That's
We use all of it. It's a myth.
Yeah, it's a myth. The myth was 10%, but
I'm just saying. No. Like, can you imagine? Imagine unlocking that to 100. That's what Maeve's feeling right now.
I guess. I mean,
she was only running at 14, and now she's at 20.
That's
kind of the same principle.
What he said, we're almost identical nowadays. Like,
right.
Talking about the hosts and humans. The only difference is, points at her head, he goes, you have way more processing power. The only downfall is we have full control of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I guess that, he's feeling threatened in this state. Like, maybe he's afraid the host will hurt him, but I think he's also probably got in the back of his head, this can all just be erased. So, any damage I'm doing right now can just be undone.
I'm more intrigued if I was the programmer in charge of, this has never been done before. Let's see what happens,
Yeah, because he's looking for a promotion, maybe, and he can... hey, if I prove to them I can control this, and that, maybe I'll get a better job.
I mean, when he's
maybe I'll not be a butcher.
Right, when he's revealing, like, her, response subroutines and everything, and she's looking at it in real time, like, the responses are just coded out in front of her, and she's just, like, seeing this, it kind of crashes, her entire program, and I'm just like, there you go, genius. You bricked her. You red ring of death to her. She is back to the fucking box. Send her back for warranty, whatever.
Yeah. Congratulations, you have now a human-sized potato.
And now you're going to have to go upstairs and explain how you bricked the robot.
Yeah. Yeah, the lady at the whorehouse.
I really didn't think she was going to turn back on.
Me neither. I thought he was totally boned. In the bad way. But, yeah, she threatens the other guy with a scalpel, and I'm sitting there thinking,
Do it! Do it!
yeah, please do it. I don't like that guy, but, you know. Yeah, so moving on here. Elsie has been trying to get to the bottom of the whole satellite transmission thing. Has been sharing her...
She does.
Yeah, she does. She's been sharing her work with Bernard, for the extra assistance, because he's just as curious. Like, as she said, this wasn't someone, hacking, like, a guest shoving this in or whatever. This was put in surgically by someone in the building.
Yeah. Orion's belt.
Mm-hmm. We also find out that it was an older model host, and he had what Bernard referred to as a legacy tracking system, which doesn't work off their new system. And to access the old system, he has to go to basement level 80.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to tell me this place isn't an evil lair when there is 80 or more basement levels?
Yeah, this goes a little too far down for my liking.
And not to mention that basement 80 looks like a perfectly normal office.
I don't think they're on Earth, guys.
I mean, it's a long abandoned office. It's in disrepair. Hell, it has computers with keyboards. Like,
yeah.
It still took voice command.
Yeah, it was still advanced enough to sync up to his little whatever device and take voice commands. But
Sweet tablet.
I mean, he finds the anomaly in the tracking. He wants to get it. They're looking for a timestamp so they can track the satellites and figure out whose satellite it got beamed to. But then he finds 5 more anomalies. Like,
yeah.
5 older robots that should not be where they are in Sector 17 or whatever I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which we find out is abandoned. It's for future narrative development. It's restricted.
Yeah. So, like, the rabbit hole just keeps growing.
How far down would 80 floors be? In feet.
Well, considering each floor is about 10 feet high.
I forget what the official, when they say, oh, the building is 20 stories tall. Like, I don't know. I think the general rule of thumb is, 10 or 12 feet a story,
okay.
the level. So it could be anywhere if it's
10 feet.
If it's okay, so if it's 10 feet, it's 800 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The building currently right now on Earth with the highest number of accessible subsurface levels is Kiev Metro Station, which goes 340 feet below ground.
So, wow, 800.
This is more than double that. So
yeah, this is it is the future.
I mean, they're currently building one in Finland right now, which is not accessible, but it's 420 meters underground.
That's more than feet.
But that is way more than 340 feet. But it's not accessible.
Like,
it's not closed. They're working on it. It's not accessible yet.
It's about 1,300 feet, give or take.
Yeah, and its final depth is planned at 520 meters.
That's about 1,650.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it could be on Earth.
I mean, it could be on Earth. All right.
Anyway, I just want more about this building because he's like, because in the first episode they go down to basement 30 something or 20 something to find Ford talking to an old robot. They went down like how many more levels, and I'm assuming all of that's abandoned.
Yeah,
and only it's restricted to obviously like super high up personnel. There's got to be a reason for all that. Like, I'm guessing this has something to do with the incident, maybe.
Probably.
It's possible, and it very well could be. Maybe it isn't technically sub-level. Maybe at one point it was ground level, and they've raised the elevation of the park, and like you look at Disney World, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you go into Disney World, you get off the boat, you slowly start going up a ramp. You don't even realize it, but you're going up like 3 stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then they raise ground level, and then they have all subterranean corridors, but those are all on actual ground level.
Yeah.
So
We
it
saw
could be
that,
something
you
like
know.
that where, hey, there were 10 floors and then they built the earth up above it, whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, we saw Ford terraforming a couple episodes ago, so that's completely possible.
It's within their, the realm of possibility here. But, Bernard finds all that down there, transmits the information to Elsie about the one anomaly, so she can track the satellite. But he goes to personally investigate the other 5, which is in an abandoned sector in a lovely, nice house. And the 5 robots are in there, including the mysterious little fucking boy that we've seen how many episodes now? Are you, showing up to help people? Are you lost? Helps the man in black, by grabbing him water. Like, just, who the fuck is this kid? It turns out it's Ford as a kid.
Yeah, I think at least I've said that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I'm sure we've been saying that.
Yeah, I'm almost
Pretty
positive it was John that was the first to throw that idea out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John definitely did throw that out there. You're right. We've been pitching around that it's Arnold, but
Please.
yeah, I know. Right? So Arnold created the 5 of them, kind of as like a present to Ford, because which is a really cool way of showing that the 2 of them were really close. Because I told him about a time in my childhood when we went to this one area, my family, my brother and I wandered. It was like the happiest moment of my childhood. And, he tells this story to the guy, and the guy custom builds 5 robots for him to, remember the happiest time of his childhood. Which, alright then. So, here's Ford's family, including a childlike version of himself.
So it's very possible that Arnold in robot form is still in the park.
Yeah.
I mean, Elsie...
And he's completely self-aware. Basically, just Arnold walking around in a robot suit.
She's, finds... when she tracks it down, she finds that it's one of the company's own satellites that the data's being beamed to. We find out the company's name is Delos. She digs deeper. I love the rabbit hole metaphor because, she's tumbling down it now.
Mm-hmm.
Finds that they're using the old bicameral system that they used to use, and they're transmitting the data through one of the relays that they used to use for that. And upon finding the relay, hey, guess what? Teresa's the one responsible, beaming out all the data.
The latest one. That's the thing.
Yeah, she was the latest login.
Right.
Most recent, yeah.
God, I mean, and then we find out the other ones were, Arnold. The guy who's dead.
Right. She finds that someone has been using the system to alter the hosts, changing, as she says, their primary directives. To the point where she actually, gets fearful. I think they can hurt us.
Yeah, and that they can lie.
They can lie to us. They can possibly even attack us. So,
which we've seen Dolores lie, and we've seen Maeve attack people.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So, good.
Yeah. And Cleo's in chat right now. She says, Teddy explains the myth of the maze, which he does. At the center is a man who dies every day and comes back every day. That's definitely Arnold. He explains it as a man who died every day and came back every day, and eventually he built his house at the center of a maze so complex only he could navigate it. So, yeah, Arnold is definitely at the center of the maze. Either in
100%. Well, Arnold's robot. Arnold's dead.
Whatever
we think
he is.
Yeah.
Well, they've said he's dead. All this stuff. They could be lying, but I doubt they are. They're going to report that as the only death in the park, whatever that they've ever had. And I think that's 100% true. I think Arnold is 100% dead. But I think Arnold knew there's a possibility that he was going to die and rebuilt himself as a robot and to take control and finish his work of destroying the park. That's his goal now. We found that out.
Yeah.
So that's what he's up to, and he's got Dolores lying for him.
Yeah, and as Cleo says, Dolores has been lying for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Because she's been checking in with Bernard for how long,
Mhm.
one-on-one. So if we were assuming correctly, to make sure that she doesn't go fucking ape shit and hurt somebody again.
I mean, that's what our current working theory is. Yeah, that the incident was her becoming self-aware, hurting people, which, if the sub-levels are closed off, maybe she got loose into the office and started killing people, like, who were just working at their desks. And that's why all that's abandoned and restricted and locked off. And, that makes sense. Like, Bernard's talking to her, just looking for the signs. But she's lying her fucking ass off to him.
Which is not good.
Mm-mm.
And he's all distracted. Because
Yeah.
friggin' Teresa and his end of his relationship with Teresa. So, like, he's not quite present enough to be as hopeful as he needs to be, which is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Considering what happened to poor Elsie.
We really didn't see what happened to her, did we?
She got mugged.
She got grabbed by somebody.
Right, exactly. Like, that's all we know.
Right. So
I can guarantee you it wasn't pleasant for her.
No.
Definitely not pleasant. And the man in black is, hi, Josie. How are you, sweetie?
First time in a long time she's
I
done
know,
this.
She missed us. Yeah, so the man in black is getting closer to the maze at this point. And I don't know, is Ford actively trying to stop him? Like, does Ford even know what's at the center of the maze? Is it even
He
an
did
Seems like
say
he knows about the maze. He knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he said he would never deny a guest an experience that they were looking for. So, I mean, maybe he put up some defenses, and that's why he made all these new narrative things. But maybe he's just doing it to just make for speed bumps, and see
Does
test
he
his
actually?
metal.
But does he actually know what the maze is?
No, probably
is he
not.
just pretending to know? Or does he know the legend of the maze? Or does he think it's fake? We don't know any of that.
Yeah, I mean, did he preserve Arnold in a robot, and now that robot has, trying to kill and destroy everything? Does he know but not fully know? My brain. I have no fucking clue right now. But, the man in black is desperately trying to protect Teddy, because he keeps going into the situation. You see him, the look on his face. You trying to get yourself killed here? Whenever someone, even approaches him, he's just, shooting them. He doesn't want Teddy to die, I think, because Teddy's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
His key.
Yeah, Teddy's Teddy's his way in, maybe.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's actually pretty funny, watching someone actually defend Teddy. And, of course, ironically, it's the man in black, because, Teddy, we've seen historically in the last 5 episodes die at the drop of a hat.
He's the doormat.
So his job is to die.
Right.
It's pretty funny. Just see, first off, he's made it real far out of his way, and someone is actually actively trying to keep him alive, which is just perfect.
Right.
I'm so happy for Teddy.
How many episodes ago Ford kind of gave Teddy, a new part in the narrative,
Yeah.
Gave him a backstory, a purpose, or whatever. And then, in this camp, he's like, "Come on, let's get out of here." He's like, "No," let's get out of here, get our shit and run. He goes, "They'll just follow." Jumps up on the Gatling gun and just pulls a Terminator and murders everybody.
Yeah.
Which the man in
I wasn't
black
expecting that.
He's down on the ground, looking in cover, looking at all this covering Teddy, like, you know, the one or two he misses, he takes out, but the look on his face is kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, and then we do see that Teddy was actively helping Wyatt
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
in his flashbacks. Like, he killed Union soldiers.
How long ago was this now?
We don't know. I mean, this is his flashback to Wyatt. It could be just, you know, a memory that was implanted.
Yeah, Corey
Right.
could have just came up with it and implanted it. I think that's, I mean, we know the Man in Black has been coming to the park for a very, very long time, and he
Upwards
was
of 30
surprised. He was surprised to see Teddy do this. So, I mean...
Which, I just want to point out, even though we didn't have flashbacky kind of stuff, we do know that the same host from 30 years ago is still in play due to the video that Maeve was watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was the same girl. They were showing, you know, all different scenes or whatever, and the new logo, the current logo, was on that screen as opposed to when we saw it with what's his name? I forgot his name now.
William.
William.
Mm-hmm.
When it had the 30 years ago logo, the same logo that you see Bernard working on the computer screens with this episode.
Right. Yeah, very true. But yeah, as Man in Black says after all that, hey, you think you know somebody.
Yeah.
But
Not one that could be reprogrammed as easily as Maeve did, you know, was.
Mm-hmm. I'm terrified for what she's gonna do.
Oh, I can't
like,
wait.
My favorite scene this episode was watching her like speak the words as they were coming up into the sheet, and then just watching her like have a brain aneurysm.
Well,
Yeah.
imagine, you know, you think you're... That's a real fuckery for anything conscious. Like, you think you're real, you think you're making your own choices, and then you find out in front of you that something's making it for you. Like, this computer program. Like, that would cause some kind of mental break, I think. She had the robotic computerized version. I mean, yeah, she had the computerized version of a mental breakdown. She just reboot.
I'm sorry. She won't go. She won't go away.
Anyway, one thing we haven't talked about, and Cleo mentioned it a few comments ago. Yo, that British narrative guy is a fucking douche.
Yeah,
This
but
was
Sizemore, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sizemore's been that way since we first met him, and
He hasn't changed one bit. He's been exactly the same.
And how long has it been since we've seen him? It's been a few episodes, right?
One
Yeah.
or two, yeah. Since his his
Uh,
whole...
He was missing out of the two before this, yeah.
So after his huge narrative got turned down.
Yeah.
It's like, for someone on sick leave, you look surprisingly well. He's just lounging at the pool, you know, where the guests can, you know, I guess hang out when they're not in the park, getting drunk on margaritas.
Mm-hmm.
And, drinky.
what did he grab from the bar and take off with?
On the bottle?
Like a whiskey or something?
A bottle of booze, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he was flirting with, what was her
The
name,
new
Lauren?
director, yeah.
Well, yeah, he was flirting with, I think her name was Lauren, was it?
Pretty sure.
Well, anyway,
I think so.
he was, you know, sitting there flirting with her about everything, and then the bartender's like, I have to cut you off. Teresa, you know, Miss Cullen told me to do so and to deliver you a message. You know, the tortured artist thing only works if you're an artist. Like,
Ooh.
get back to
The
work.
ultimate jab.
Yeah. And he gets so drunk, he just goes up to the balcony, like, near her office and pisses down into the operations room.
Which was
It was on
just-
the 3D model,
Uh-huh.
and it was dripping around the model. So that 3D model, you can touch, like, physically touch that model.
No. They're physically gonna have to
So,
bleach
like,
it now.
the way I see that model is, that toy that you have where you stick your hand in the pins and you look at what it looks. That's what that model reminds me of now.
It probably is a super advanced version of
Because
that.
it's just and just reprograms the dots exactly where they need to be and rises them to whatever elevation they need to be.
It's like
So now it's that toy with P on it.
it's that toy with P on it. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you've ever had that toy around like a 2-year-old, then you might have experienced this already.
He's also
For us,
pretty
it was
much
new.
fucked.
I mean, seriously, how
she's a
much more poetic?
representative of the board of directors.
She also caused this.
Yeah, she might
Yeah.
also be on the board of directors. We don't know. And
Lauren?
Lauren, I thought they said she was.
I thought they said she was the director of the
head
board.
of it.
oh
Yeah.
oh god.
Yeah.
All right then. So he's fucked.
Someone's going to sensitivity training soon.
Oh, someone.
No, I think he's fine.
Canned.
I think he's fine.
We'll see.
I think she wanted to light a fire under their asses. I think she did it intentionally. She saw her opportunity to screw with someone. She took it. She wanted to see how far it can go. She's like, okay.
Ultimately, the board wants to get rid of Ford, and Sizemore's he's the next guy that has the ideas.
For narratives.
They don't have anybody else for narratives. So Sizemore's next in line to take after Ford, even though he's a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, one last thing I want to mention: we got to see how different the first generation models were with Mini Robert. You know, because Ford looks at him, tells him, "Go and turn the other cheek," and then all of a sudden his face just opens up.
I was like, "Oh my god, it's a Demogorgon from Stranger Things!"
It's they're actual androids, the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is pretty friggin' awesome.
And also he murdered a dog, and that's scary.
Yeah.
So is he self-aware as well?
I wouldn't say
Or
so.
not self-aware, but he's aware of things.
Well, he
has will.
Could have. I don't even like. He's also a very early model, and we know that in whatever form Arnold has taken, he can manipulate them
It's also
and their protocol.
it's possible that they're all programmed differently because, you know, the one
They're
pinned
definitely programmed differently.
Yeah,
Because
because-
they respond to Ford's voice commands and no one else's.
and they also lied to Ford.
Yeah.
The one.
Hmm.
And he said, "Are you lying to me right now?" And, you know,
Yes.
like when he went into analysis mode, it's like, "Yes." You know, "Why'd you kill the dog?" "A voice told me to."
Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Fuck.
It's scary out there.
I was also leaning towards if this is supposed to be a perfect or, you know, a near perfect representation of Ford as a kid, and this kid just murdered a dog for, you know, because the voice in his head told him to.
Oh.
I mean, I'm looking into it more as, you know, to show a character flaw of Ford. Like, you know, what do they say about serial killers and murderers? You know, a lot of times they start with animals.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't know. I think it was the voice, and
Yeah,
a lot of the other hosts have done things because of a voice. So
Yeah,
Look
I
at
mean,
Dolores.
initially that's what I was thinking, that this could, you know, show that Ford isn't really, you know, normal.
Mhm.
Or, you know,
he's not.
he's a potential murderer. But now it was the voice. I can't wait.
The show is just getting better and better.
It really is. I cannot wait another
It really
week for this
is, yeah.
shit.
We only have 4 episodes left until
Yeah.
season 1 is over.
I'm losing my
I
mind.
know.
And
I'm just. I want good things to happen to Elsie, please.
yeah,
I
like
like she is.
maybe it's somebody that's going to help her rather than hurt her, kind of thing.
She's my favorite human character on this show.
She's got fire. She's sassy.
Mm-hmm. So before we continue, next episode is called something in French. Trompe l'oeil? I don't know.
Trompe. Loyal.
Trompe l'oeil. I am terrible.
Chrissy could pronounce it, I bet.
Yeah.
Anyway, I looked it up.
I-
It is a visual illusion in art, especially used to trick the eye into perceiving a painted detail as a three-dimensional object.
Okay.
So an illusion.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Maeve gives an ultimatum to Lutz and Sylvester. Hey, we know the other guy's name. Bernard looks for a way out of a precarious situation. Could that be Teresa's a corporate spy? While, I'm telling you on the phone that Teresa's a corporate spy while you're in her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And also, she has to deal with Ford.
That too. Charlotte? Who's Charlotte? Could that be the board lady and we've just mistook her name as Lauren?
Yeah, it looks like
That
it.
could probably be true.
Because I don't know who Charlotte is. Anyway, Charlotte seeks to reveal critical...
Get it in post.
Charlotte seeks to reveal critical mistakes in Ford's creations. And then William, Dolores, and Lawrence find themselves in dangerous territory.
Oh, yay, we go back to 30 years ago. Woohoo! Oh, goodness.
It's pronounced Trompe-l'oeil. Like, just like that. Trompe-l'oeil.
Trompe-l'oeil.
It's really quick. Trompe-l'oeil.
Okay.
Whatever. It's French. I stopped taking that in grade 6. I don't care.
I don't. I'm sorry.
That's as close as I'm going to be able to get to it. Cleo's going to be like, it's still wrong. I guarantee you're going to see that in chat very shortly. But
I'm pretty sure
it's
a lot of people are going to
pretty damn close as far as I can get.
I'm sorry. French was not my language.
Yeah.
And this is probably French, not Canadian French. So, you know what? I'm just going to stay out of this.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to mention aside from that this show is fucking killing me?
I just want to know if the maze is above or underground. And if it's
Maybe
underground, how deep is it?
Maybe it's all the things.
I want to know if this maze is actually a physical construct and not, some... Because the first part of the legend is the maze is the sum of a man's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it some psychological thing?
It might not even be a physical maze.
Maybe it's like their crazy VR technology they have in that you just like walk in through something and you're like not existing anymore and then figure where your way out, escape. Like the labyrinth or something. Who knows?
They clearly said it was so complex that only Arnold could figure it out. So it may be something that doesn't even have like physical boundaries. You have to walk in a certain pattern, and there's no like walls or anything.
Yeah, that I could see that too. Maybe it's some AI programming like paradox or something.
Maybe you take a teleporter to the moon and die of suffocation. Who goddamn well knows?
Rude.
I don't know.
I mean, that's only if we're still on Earth. I mean, we could be somewhere else, right? Maybe the moon is just a
Be
protection.
crazy at the end if it's just like BT dubs are on Mars.
I'm pretty sure we're on Earth. Otherwise,
Yeah.
people wouldn't be able to come visit very easily.
Well, yeah, you could. In the movie, they took an airship, so I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It wasn't just like an airplane. It was like Star Trek level airship.
I mean, getting people off of Earth to Mars, expensive. Getting people, it's getting off Earth that's the problem. Once you're on the moon or Mars, it's a lot easier to leave those. Escape velocity is a fuck ton less. But, yeah, no, they're on Earth. I can't imagine it being that far into the future that they're going to build a theme park on Mars.
I don't see why not.
You guys are killing me. This show is already killing me enough.
Listen,
I'm
it's bad enough that this is happening on Earth.
If I find out that this is if I find out in the season finale that this is on Mars, I'm just gonna God damn it, Cleo, get your ass to Mars. Anything else, guys? Is that it?
If there's kind of a mini little ARG involved with this game. I had a brief amount of time on it. I have not really had a lot to play with, but the website, if you guys want to check it out, is discoverwestworld.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's basically an email address and different things you can sign up for. There's stuff that's hidden. Like it asks for certain information that you have to get on the website by looking around various places to get further into it. It's interesting. So I definitely recommend checking it out.
So it's kind of like a little.
I'm sure there's clues on it to upcoming things. Otherwise, I don't see why it would be here.
Okay.
All right.
Is this the first time that HBO's ever done something like that before?
Maybe.
Possibly.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But they show you an entire map of the park.
Oh, cool.
Even the under construction area near Pariah and all that. So, with the Ghost Nation.
All right then.
Interesting.
So check.
And there's
that
an
out.
area called New Virginia.
Tonight.
So it's like New Mexico, but New Virginia.
Okay.
All right then. So that is our show. Mind fucks and all. Dom, where can they find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Nikki, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
And John, where can they find you?
You can find me at No More on Twitter, posting pictures of stupid drum things I buy because I'm a child.
You can find me. You can find me on Twitter at Thilladrin right there. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching. Bye now. You have cat hair on you, honey?
Oh, God, do I ever.
On the next episode, special guest, a cat.